Do you know Gloria Steinem? Here, let me give you a hint. So I was reading an online article to which I came across something that I didn't know about Gloria. It talks about Gloria's new book, My Life on the Road, recounting her life journeys and travels, but look at the bottom paragraph. What is often missed or mischaracterized, however, is the work she did as a CIA agent. Steinem was a spook. Confused, I decided to dig a little deeper. Black Feminism, the CIA, and Gloria Steinem. What follows is a fact sheet about Gloria Steinem's operations against the various social and political movements in America, particularly her role in creating a hateful and virulent strain of black feminism that attacks black men while partnering with the white establishment. Steinem first came across the radar of black men when she put a book called Black Macho and the Myth of the Superwoman by Michelle Wallace on the cover of Miss Magazine, to which she controlled. Let's read on. The book was written by a black feminist and activist, quote-unquote, named Michelle Wallace, who came out of nowhere. She was in her early 20s, yet she was being touted as the leader of black feminism. In the book, Wallace called abolitionists like Harriet Tubman and Sojourner Truth ugly and stupid for supporting black men. She called black revolutionaries chauvinist macho pigs and advised black women to go it alone. Go it alone? Do it alone? I don't know. But peep what Gloria said. Gloria Steinem said that Wallace's book would define the future of black relationships, and she pushed hard to make sure the book received massive publicity. Define the future of black relationships? What's the bottom line? The bottom line is the so-called black feminist movement was created and manipulated by the CIA from the very beginning. The only difference between black revolutionaries and black feminists on this issue is that black revolutionaries know they were infiltrated and manipulated, but black feminists are still unwilling to admit that they were infiltrated and manipulated, largely because they are highly invested in the hateful brand of black feminism. It is now a central part of the culture of black women, and this fact has led to the destruction of the black revolution and the complete distortion of black relationships. And the CIA had a direct hand in creating this situation. So, black woman, Gloria Steinem, your American journalist, feminist, social political activist, and CIA agent, she was used to cause disunity in the black family through the use of feminism. Remember that book we read earlier, the one on the Black Myth by Michelle? She said that would be the future for black relationships. Nothing positive in that book was written about the black men. They were putting them down. So the next time you think about supporting her, ask yourself,
the house, who was in her house. It was the black woman taking care of her household. It was the black woman taking care of her man. It was the black woman suckling her children from the breasts when she couldn't suckle her own children. She couldn't take care of her own children. She couldn't take care of her own man. So the feminist movement had nothing to do with the black woman. And if we fast forward this feminist movement, we see that the feminist movement back in the 60s and the 70s, was instigated by a CIA agent. And it was set up to be divisive against the black woman and the black man. And if you look at the deterioration of the black family, then you can start it off with the feminist movement. The Monahan report talked about the degradation of the black family. And so when you have women like Gloria Steinem, who infiltrated the college campuses and portrayed herself as an activist, and when she was able to snake her way into the women's movement, and she took the face of a black woman, she created a magazine in which she took the black woman as the face, but behind that magazine, she had all vile manners of things to say about the black man. This is the history. You can go look this up yourself. So when we talk about, starting at home and starting with the black woman, there has been a systematic plan to divide and conquer the black man and the black woman. So the feminist movement has never done anything for the black woman. Because when you look at the state of the black woman, 75%, and we talk about that 75%, Sister Waikiki, is head up by the black woman. Where are the men? It was set up that way. Now, I know you're saying if we look at social media, if we look at the current state of women, period, we see that women are making making progress. Can we agree on that? We saw that 100 women were elected to Congress, right? We saw that about 12 women were elected to the Senate. Here in Harris County alone, we saw so many black women on judicial benches. And that's a phenomenal thing to see the rise of the woman and the rise of the black woman. That's right. But then they're not telling you about the statistics where the imprisonment of African American women far exceeds that of white women. And we're creeping up there with black men. They're not talking to you about the prison, the pipeline from the woman's womb to the prison. They're not talking about that. On average, you hear about the pay inequality. But no one's talking about the black woman's pay inequality, because when a white man makes $1, the black woman makes 68 cents from that dollar. Wow. And the white woman, she may make 86 cents from that dollar. When we talk about the health of the black women are dying far more at a higher rate than white women from cancer, breast cancer. Now, true that the white women and black women, we may have the same amount of rate of having the cancer, but why are we dying the most? Why? Let's talk about our children and our little girls and our women in the human trafficking. In the United States alone, we have over 300,000 children and girls and women who are trafficked all over the world. This industry has been estimated to have at least about $13 trillion in it. Modern day slavery, human trafficking, and then let's talk about sex trafficking. It's the little black girls that we don't get reported. There's nothing on the news when we are missing. But we are missing at the highest rate. No one's talking about the black woman. Not in the media, except for one person. And that is none other than Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. If you know anything about this black man, you know that he has...
Those apartments belong to black women who are allowing this to go on in their home. We have not looked at what part of the responsibility do we share. Yes, black men sell a lot of drugs, and a lot of us black women get the money from them drugs and buy some of these fancy clothes we wear. Drive around in some of these fancy cars. He is not doing these things alone and without support from us, whether they are good or bad. See, we have a lot of power. We are very strong women. I'm saying that we're using our strength in the wrong direction. We're using it to tear our man down, tear our nation down, instead of building it up. Having an education and a job does not necessarily mean you have a successful life. I keep telling black women that to raise a child, they say, well, I provided with food, clothing, and shelter. That's not raising a child, that's maintaining one. To raise a child, you need a parental coalition of a man and a woman. We have sons who are, by not having a father in the home, they don't know how to respect women. They take on the black female emotionalism. They're doubtful, they're indecisive, they can't make a decision. They don't know what to do about being a man because we can't teach them that. We don't have that knowledge. We have daughters who grow up in a home where they don't see any affection, where there's no man there. They go out into the world and try to mate. They don't have no idea how to be no woman to no man, how to function in a house with a man, because they haven't seen it. Most of our children, just like us, get all the information we have about how you be with a mate off television. It's the only medium that shows us anybody being together. Those rules have not worked for us. The white woman's liberation movement, we don't have anything to do with that. We have not been under the control of the black man for over 500 years, so what do we have to get liberated from them from? They haven't been our boss. That's the white woman and her man. They're going through that, and that's their business. We don't have any business being in that. They only introduced it to break down the civil rights movement. Civil rights movement started with the black man, the black woman, and the black child standing together, trying to plead for freedom, justice, and equality, and more benefits in the country that they had built. They threw the white woman in there with the women's liberation movement and made it a woman against man thing. That created a big separation between black men and black women, because then everybody started going for self. Then they bring the welfare system in and tell us in order to feed and clothe and house our children, we have to give up our man. We have to put the man out of the house. When the white farm wife goes to the government for subsidy for the farm, they don't tell her to get rid of the farmer. They keep that family together. But in the black community, they make it a requirement because they want to keep endorsing into the black community that the black man is no good and that he is not deserving of respect. He is not deserving of us letting him give us any protection or instruction, and that we are better than them. The major responsibility that the black woman has had on the earth for the trillions of years that we have been here has been one of nutrition.
Order me around like that, Henry. You my wife. That gives me the right.
When he says wife, he means possession.
So what, Maud? You told me 100 times you want to feel possessed.
Walter Finley, I never said that standing up, and you know it. People are not supposed to be possessions, Henry Evans. Now, if you want me, you're going to have to take me as your equal.
Florida, I never said nothing about you not being my equal. Why you want to run all this civil rights jazz on me?
This ain't civil rights, Henry. It's woman's rights.
Woman's rights. Boy, don't nobody ever want to talk about men's rights.
Out of sight, Henry. Let's talk about it right now.
Right on.
Isn't that adorable? They found each other. Yeah, 2 peas in a pod. One of them black-eyed.
I'll tell you something, Henry. There's only one way to end this argument. Florida, don't take this personally, but you're fired.
Fired?
Fine, you hear that, man? You are something else. All right, Florida, get your coat. Come on now, let's go.
Don't listen to him. You are rehired with a raise.
And I'm firing you again.
Quick, get your coat, Florida.
You're rehired, Florida.
Damn it, Florida, you're too slow.
What am I now? I'm fired. You are hired. The unemployment service ain't gonna believe this. He's fired, Walter. You might just as well fire me as your wife. You hear that, Henry? We're busting up their marriage, and it's all your fault.
All my fault. You hear that, Walter? All I'm trying to do is get the same things for my wife that your wife has, and she's complaining.
I got news for you, Henry. When your wife has everything my wife has, she'll still complain.
All women, I tell you, I don't understand them. But especially you white women. You sit up here in your nice world, and instead of enjoying the things you got, you're worrying yourself sick about some women's rights. Well, let me tell you, baby, I'm Ebony. In the world I grew up in, the black man couldn't even get a job. So the woman went out and worked and supported the family. And quiet as it's kept, none of us never wanted it that way. And some of us don't have to have it that way, like me. Now, I got a job, and a good one. And if I have to work 2 jobs, then I will. Because I am no longer going to be the husband of a black maid.
Hey, you people ain't gonna be sucked in by that jive. Florida, he knows what he's talking about. He's black. And what do you think I am, sundan? You ain't listening to a black problem woman. You listening to a male ego.
Oh, now, wait a minute, Florida?
Oh, Henry, you wait a minute. Now, you hurt because of your pride, and I love you for that. But I also resent you for not being just as proud of me as I am of you.
I am proud of you, Florida. It's just that I don't want you to be a maid no more.
Them two don't go together, Henry. Your mother was a maid. That's how your brothers got through school and you got to be a fireman. My grandmother was a maid. That's how my daddy got a little schooling. There are a lot of women, Henry, on both sides of my family who worked all their lives in white kitchens so their kids could get some of the things they should have. You want to be proud of something, Henry? You be proud of them, because they was all black women. And I tell you, there ain't never been a better woman than that. I'm going home now, Miss Finley. I'll see you in the morning.